In the Shrimad Bhagawatam, I'd like to just tell one little story of how a tiny boy attained that love. His name was DHRUVA. He was only 5 years old. He was the son of a king. The king, Uttanapada, had 2 wives. And he was very deeply attached to DHRUVA's stepmother. So one day, the king was sitting on the throne and with the stepbrother of DHRUVA on his lap, and DHRUVA saw his father like that, and he loved his father. A little boy like this wants the recognition and the affection of the father. So he was so excited. I'm going to sit on the throne with my father, with my little brother. And DHRUVA came running and running with such anticipation and just began to climb on his father's lap when the stepmother, Suruchi, scolded. You have no right to sit on the throne of your father because you were not born of my womb. You were born of an inferior woman. If ever you want to be elevated to that throne, you should worship the Supreme Lord so that you could take your next birth in my womb. That shattered DHRUVA's heart. 5-year-old boy, he doesn't have so much power to reason or philosophically try to digest this type of crisis. The only thing he could do is helplessly, desperately look up at his father for recognition. But his father looked away and ignored DHRUVA. When he needed that support the most, he was neglected. His heart shattered in thousands of pieces. His lips were trembling, his eyes were weeping, and he ran to his mother, Suniti. When Suniti saw her son in this condition, unable to even talk, weeping, crying, some of the ladies from the palace told her what happened. It's explained that Suniti was beautiful, like a lotus, but seeing her son suffering like this, she wilted, she withered. She cried incessantly and said, DHRUVA, there's nothing I can do. Your father doesn't love me. But DHRUVA, please listen carefully. Never ever wish anything bad for anyone. Even if someone hurts you, forgive them. Because if you hold a grudge, if you feel bad toward anyone for any person, wish them bad, that will only destroy you. But what your stepmother said is good. If you worship the Supreme Lord, He will fulfill your desires. She wasn't expecting what DHRUVA was about to do. He immediately ran from the palace, ran from the kingdom, and entered into the forest. Because he had heard that great yogis go to the forest to find the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan. He went deeper and deeper. It is said, by the mercy of Krishna, one gets Guru. By the mercy of Guru, one gets Krishna. It's not that we can find our guru. But yegata mam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamya. According to our will, according to our surrender, the Lord reciprocates. And Ishwara sarva bhutanam hariteshya arjuna tishtati. Our beloved Lord is within our heart. And He directs us, He guides us. So here's little Dhruva, 5 years old. He's never lived in any way except the most opulent wealth of the king's palace. And now he's all alone in the forest. Tigers, lions, snakes, cold, heat, mosquitoes. But he didn't care. Dritavrata, because he had such determination. I must find my God. When we have that determination, mystically, so many doors open. Satsang, the association of saintly people, help us to actually awaken that determination, that focus on the real purpose of life. Dhruva's in the forest. So he had that one pointed desire for self-realization. And then the doors open. And Bhagavan himself sent Narada Muni. Otherwise, it's not that Narada Muni just happened to be walking around in the forest at that moment. And Narada Muni first tested Dhruva. He said, "You're just a little boy. Why are you so concerned about a little insult? Just go home and play and study." And little Dhruva said to Narada, who was the greatest of rishis, he said, "I have come here to find God. I've been so hurt. I have been so wounded that even though you're speaking nice philosophy, it doesn't sit in my heart. I must find God. I want revenge. I want to show my father and his wife. I want a kinger. I want a kingdom greater than my father and greater than my grandfather." That was his wish. So Narada Muni taught him the path of yoga. He taught him asanas. He taught him a mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He taught him how to make a little form of Vishnu out of the mud and offer flowers in devotion. He taught him how to meditate on the Lord within his own heart. And he told him to go to a very lonely forest called Madhuban on the banks of the holy river Yamuna. Dhruva went. He was all alone. First, he was just eating some kapita, which is the little fruits that monkeys eat. And then after some time, he stopped eating them. And he was just eating the dry leaves that fell to the ground. And after that, he was only drinking a little water. And after several months, Dhruva, he was standing in an asana on one toe. And his body was as immovable as a pillar. First, he was just breathing, and then he gave up even breathing. Why? So that his absolute and total focus of his consciousness, of his body, mind, words, and soul, were meditating on the form of Vishnu, Narayan, in his heart. And that Narayan appeared to him within his heart. And Dhruva was the ecstasy of love. Suddenly, that form disappeared from within. And Dhruva was so much shaken in Vipralamba, in separation, that his whole meditation was shaken. And he opened his eyes. And before him, that same form of Narayan that was within his heart was standing physically. And Dhruva wanted to offer prayers of love. But he was so young, he never went to school. He didn't know prayers. But the Lord, Krishna tells in Gita, I'm the intelligence of the intelligence. I'm the ability in people. I'm the strength of people. The Lord touched him on the head and empowered him to speak what he was feeling in eloquent Sanskrit verses. Then Lord Narayan told little Dhruva, I will give you any benediction. I will fulfill whatever desire you have. Anything, just ask. Little Dhruva said, I don't want anything. I'm seeing you. You've accepted my love. I'm feeling your love. There's nothing else. I could give you liberation. I could give you all mystic cities. I could give you what you came for. I could give you a kingdom greater than your father or your grandfather. Just ask. Little Dhruva replied, I came looking for the broken pieces of glass in the form of power and wealth and prestige. But you've given me the precious jewel of your love. I only want to serve you with love, unconditionally, eternally. He was given that benediction. But the Lord told Dhruva, you should go back to your home. You're a great yogi, you have no material desires whatsoever, but you should become the king. And utilize whatever you have in a spirit of bhakti or devotion. So little Dhruva went home. Meanwhile, his father and his mothers, they were in so much anguish. Uttanapada, the king, was blaming himself for his son going to the forest where nobody could find him. And when he did come home, soon after, Dhruva was made the king. Trinadapi sunichena taror ibasi hishnuna. Amani namana tena kirtaniya sadahari. But he had such humility, such tolerance, such forgiveness. With great love and compassion, he forgave his stepmother and treated her as his own mother with the same respect and affection. He ruled his kingdom in such a way that he felt himself to be the servant of everyone. Like a father serves the children or mother serves the children, he considered on behalf of God, who's the supreme father and mother of everyone, Vishnu, Lakshmi, it is my duty to protect their children. It is my duty to protect their property. And he ruled the world for many years. And eventually, he turned over the kingdom to his own son and went to Badrinath, Badrikashram. He passed through Rishikesh on the way. That's why I'm telling the story.